Okay. We're live on a Wednesday instead of a Tuesday because we had company. My dad was here for a few days and he left today. Kira, what is going on? Kira said, I just thought I lost a day and it was Tuesday. Forgot you moved it. Yeah, it was. We had fun. My dad just left this afternoon. He came in on Saturday. Busy, busy. 4 days. 5 days if you count this morning. They were full, and I still had to work in the morning. So, like yesterday, we were at Disneyland Star Wars night until I think 11. So we got home around, I don't know, 12, and then I woke up at 7. Had to drive with my dad to take his electric scooter back that he rented. Then I went to work. It's been busy but fun, and I'm gonna wait a little bit, Kira, till some other peeps hop on because I do have some show and tell today because we went to Universal on Sunday, Disneyland yesterday. So I have some things that we bought. Nothing crazy, but just want to show it on stream. Kira says, are you going to watch the 4K version of Revenge of the Sith in theaters? I might actually. I've never seen them in the theaters at all. I've only seen them like everyone streaming probably on a plane. I think the Kind Assassin watched the prequel. No, the sequel. No, the prequel. I think she watched the prequel trilogy. I'm not sure, but that would be cool. I don't even know. Well, when is it coming out? I know Andor dropped yesterday, but we were in Disneyland, so Shira, what's going on? How are you? Welcome to the Wednesday stream. Thanks for hopping on today when typically it's obviously yesterday. So I'm glad you all have some time today. I hope you all had fun yesterday. What did you all do with your 7 to 8 p.m. Typical time? Did you relax? Did you watch anything? I was just telling Shira, that it's been a busy 4 days. My dad left. He was here since Saturday, but we did a lot of eating, hanging out. Disneyland yesterday for Star Wars night. Sunday we did Universal, and when a couple more peeps hop on, hopefully in like 20 minutes, I'm gonna do a show and tell of some of the things that the Kind Assassin and I purchased. Now I'm talking with my other friend. Kira was sleeping. I mean, ain't nothing wrong with that. Just texting my friend Jeff. Shira says, sounds like you guys were partying as hard as we can. My dad, he used to be able to walk around the parks. He really can't anymore. So when we got to Universal, luckily they did have one in Universal that he was able to rent. So he was able to get around. And then for Disneyland, like that's always harder. It's bigger, more popular, more people go there, more people use the cart. So he don't want to take a chance. So on Monday, he was calling everybody to find one, and no one had them. But yesterday morning, he found somebody, be it very much not far, but there's a lot of traffic going to Burbank. So we had to drive and pick it up yesterday, learn how to use it, drive it back, then relax a few hours, then drive to Disneyland, which there was traffic because of an accident. Then learn how to like take it apart there. Like we got through all that. And then it was fun. Disney After Dark is so peaceful. There's a lot of people there, but not like a regular day. So it was clear. It was beautiful. But it was fun. We got on a few rides, ate some food, and they had like a big Jabba the Hutt. Not like a moving thing. It was more like, I don't know how to explain it, but it was a big life size, I guess, Jabba the Hutt that you could take pictures with, but it was kind of, I don't know how to explain it. It wasn't like stone, but just picture like a stone. If there was a stone version of it, like carved in, that's what it looked like, but it was probably plastic. Kira says Revenge of the Sith opens on Friday. So this week, I'm sure it's here. It's got to be in one of the AMC's by me. But I think we're going to binge watch yesterday's and/or the first three episodes tomorrow, probably. Today, I watched Broad City episode 2. I'm only 2 episodes deep into that, and I love it. That show is so funny. And then I watched The Last of Us. That's nuts. The discourse on The Last of Us is intense, especially people who played the game versus people who haven't. Kira says, just pulled it up since she wasn't certain. I thank you for that because I'm still tired and I could have did it myself because I have the internet up, but I'm like, my mind. Kira says, I still have a lot of Star Wars to watch. There is 6 more days until Dogma, so this coming Tuesday I'll be watching that. I'm looking forward to it. I think I said it every week since that is my most anticipated Kevin Smith movie from this universe. So I can't wait to watch Dogma. My dad was telling me about it and he spoiled Alanis Morissette for me. It's funny because we were talking about it. He goes, oh, have you seen Dogma? And I was like, oh no, I haven't seen it yet. I'm going to see it next week. And he proceeds to tell me, oh, Alanis Morissette is in it and she plays. I'm like, why would you tell me that? I told you I didn't see it. Shira says, this month has been draining. Dogma will be a welcome treat. Yeah, April, every month seems to go fast now. Since I turned 40, it's like cliche to say, damn, April's almost over. Kira says, haha, spoilers, Dad. I'm like, what part of I haven't watched it? And then he goes, oh, that's not really that important. I mean, I don't know if it is or it isn't, but I'm sure they're going to be talking about God in the movie. It would have been nice because, you're hardwired to imagine a man playing God. So, but what are you going to do? What will you do? I will. I have a feeling Boomhauer will be on today. He he even hops onto our video game live stream. So once he hops out of work, I'm sure he'll be on. And then, as like I said, um, just a few things I want to show everyone. Shira says that's like spoiling the killer in Jaws is the shark. Damn. I guess. So, Shira, you're saying it's really not that big of a spoiler for me to know that right now. I guess that's good. I guess that's good. I bought a new video game last week. The Indiana Jones game that was an Xbox exclusive for about 5 months is now on PlayStation. And I recently learned that there is no such thing as Xbox exclusives anymore, that every game that comes out on Xbox eventually will be on PlayStation. Kira says, Mr. Boom and Latheus are not here? Boom will be here. The Boomhauer hour is usually 7:21 Pacific. Latheus, I give Latheus. I always forget if Latheus goes by he or they, and I always forget to ask. But I give Latheus credit because the past like 4 weeks or 5 weeks, Latheus has been on at 4 in the morning. But if you're not in the Discord or if you are in the Discord, Latheus posts some awesome pictures that he takes. I go in almost every day to see if he's posted more pictures. Shira says, oh no, it is. If it was my dad, I'd be disowning him. Ah. Well, what are you going to do? But that is a big spoiler. I'll have to pretend. I'm actually pretty good at like pretending. Sometimes I'll watch like a video game trailer and I'll just casually, calmly watch it and then I'll rewatch it and do a reaction to it. I know it's fake, but I like it. But what was I talking about? Yeah, so Indiana Jones I just bought. I played maybe the first 30 minutes. It's so cool because the beginning of the game, they show the very beginning um, of Raiders of the Lost Ark. which is so cool. And it's almost shot for shot. Kira says, someone spoiled Agatha all along for me. Oh my god, what part did they spoil? That's terrible. I'm not staying off. I'm kind of good on social media to not spoil myself. I could scroll and kind of, if I see someone talking about something, I just won't look at it. But a lot of people are spoiling Thunderbolts that comes out next week. The good thing is almost everyone who's watched it has said it's like amazing. So there's that. I can't wait. What other? Still playing Assassin's Creed Shadows slowly. The Kind Assassin is almost done with Odyssey's DLC. She has a little bit more to go. Um, she wants to finish it quick because she really wants to start a new game. Shira said, who Joe Locke's character was. Oh, that's probably it. I know that was a big one. I'm still loving how the the story was in that. I'm sure a lot of people picked it up. I didn't. When they got to the road, everyone in the beginning kind of assumed Agatha did create it. But then we find out. Actually, I don't want to say this because I don't know if what I was about to say was going to be a spoiler. Kira says, actually looking forward to Thunderbolts. Yeah, it's the first it's the first Marvel movie in a very long time that I haven't seen anybody who's watched previews of it or been invited to the screeners say anything bad about it. And you know how people just love to hate stuff, and especially Marvel movies. There'll be someone who just is like, this thing sucks. No one has said it's anything but good. So I know in general I'm going to enjoy it anyway, but it's good to hear that. I apologize if I sound more lethargic and monotone than usual, but I am pooped. Shears says Catherine Hahn was amazing. She was. Did you see her in Where the Millers? I've seen that movie. There's some movies that you watch and you just forget about it or you just don't remember a lot. I don't remember a lot from that movie, but I did see it. Kira says, no worries. We're all exhausted. Thank you. The good thing about my dad, he treated himself. When he flew here, he flew first class. And when he flew back, this is something I want to do. He treated himself to like the lay down in Delta where you could sleep. So I got to check in with him. I don't know. It's 7. It's 10 o'clock New York time. I'll text him in the morning and see how we enjoyed that because I want to do that. But it's been a busy week in the warehouse. But busy is good. Busy is good. So Kira, Shira, I don't remember. I know I've mentioned that I am watching it, but I don't remember if I asked you both if you guys have watched Broad City, because that's one that the Kind Assassin suggested to me. I think a couple of weeks ago it was True Seattleite who wanted me to watch. What was that other one? Ah, forgot. Damn it. There was another show, but the Kind Assassin was like, it's funny, but it's kind of dark, and I really wasn't in the mood to watch dark. Shira says, wait, which airline did he fly with? Did you hear about the plane in Pennsylvania that caught fire? I did not hear about it, but it sounds like something like that happens constantly. And he flew Delta this time. He usually flies JetBlue out of New York. What the heck was that? God, I can't believe I can't remember it. Anyways, so I'm watching Broad City and I love it. Kira says, and Shira says, neither has watched it. I think it's really funny. So if you're looking for a funny show that I think is only 2 seasons and they're quick 20-minute episodes, I kind of feel like you'd probably enjoy it. Shira says, message retracted. Ooh, what did Shira say? What did she say? Today there was a trailer for season 2 of Wednesday I reacted to. I liked season 1, but the season 2 trailer just feels, and I said it in the video, very familiar. Like Wednesday Adams, we know what she is and like her demeanor and stuff. Like we get it. She's monotone, dark, morbid, and her jokes just are always the same to me. Like it starts off where she's going through airport security and the metal detector goes off. And I mean, you know what's going to happen, right? She has weapons on her. And of course, yes, she has weapons. I'm sure I'll watch it and I'll enjoy it. But I had an idea while I was watching it. I thought the Addams family, they could have done it kind of like a superhero IP where everyone kind of gets their own show. Like Wednesday, season 1, we follow Wednesday and everyone else is kind of background characters. And then this season would be like the Gomez and Morticia show, where we follow them and their lives, and everyone else is in the background. And maybe there's a Pugsley one, an Uncle Fester one, and then the Avengers is like the Addams family. I think that would be cool. I just wanted it to be darker, but it seems like it's going to be funny again. But it worked last time. Shira says, just meant neither, not either. Oh, Shira says, just saw that trailer for Wednesday. It's cute, but not spectacular. Yeah, it just seems, like I said, familiar. And I understand. Season 1 was good. It was funny. It was bright. And it wasn't very dark. And a lot of people watched it. And everyone loves Jenna Ortega. And people enjoyed the show. So if people like something, why change it? So there was that. And then yesterday, the Rick and Morty season 8 trailer came out. And I love it because I love Rick and Morty. But a Rick and Morty trailer, they're tricky because you don't even know if what you see is going to be in the season, because you could watch a season, episode 1 of a season, they have their intro, and the intro is usually clips from the season that like you'll watch it and you're like, oh, I remember that from the beginning, right? They show clips that are going to be in that season, but then they show clips that do not show up in the season. So I'm watching the trailer like, this is awesome, but I don't know what they're at, what is actually what made it to season 8 and what is just in the trailer. Shira says, I'm sad that Heartbreaker isn't getting a 4th season. Only a movie to tie up the whole thing. Yeah, it's sad when they don't let these shows complete their vision. Kind of sucks. Kira says, have to sit down and watch Rick and Morty from the beginning. Have seen shorts of it on YouTube only. I love it. And I guess, I don't know, you kind of have to enjoy their type of humor. It's not like raunchy. Like if you watch the first episode, you'll get it. If you don't like the first episode, then you're not going to enjoy the series. And I don't mean like a lot of times you'll watch a show and you just might not vibe with the show and you just stop. This one is really specifically the comedy, and also, and again, I'm not saying I'm smart or smarter than anyone because it confuses me, but Rick and Morty, though the main plot is linear, the main plot is also all over the place. Like they could do a season where something huge happens in the first episode and they don't talk about that until the next season. It's so crazy, but they do it so well. It's funny. And then you have to also deal with and accept that Rick is like Omega level smart and the most OP person in the universe. And I usually don't like that, but it works in Rick and Morty. Like it works perfectly. Like you hate him, but you always want him to win. So it's not like one of those things where, oh, Rick is in a predicament. How is he going to get out? And then the writers write a really intricate way for him to get out. Like it's not that. It'll be Rick needs to pull a bomb out of his butthole, Rick will pull a bomb out of his butthole. Like, he just has everything. He knows everything. If he needs something, he has it. If he doesn't have it, he'll invent it. Like, he's perfect in that regards, but he is a jerk, like, in general. And yeah, it's basically Back to the Future, just a little different. Sheer says, we'll never forgive Netflix for what they did to Umbrella Academy that final season. Kira says, I love Back to the Future. Is Rick and Morty just a different take on it? I mean, they're based on those characters, but it's a lot different. There's time travel, of course, but it's just a little bit different. And there's a lot of stuff that I don't remember. Like, luckily, they do a good job of kind of, if you miss something later in the season when it comes back, they kind of explain it a little bit. But me, I have to watch breakdowns because I forget. But it's just like multiverse. So things that happen in the first season are different in the fifth season, and people are different, and you have to remember why. And sometimes it's just hard for me to remember. Kira says Netflix needs to be flayed for how they ended Umbrella Academy. Oh. Kira says, and sorry you had already answered my question about Rick and Morty. That's all right. I will answer your question 1,000 times. All right. It's 7:22. It is the Boomhauer hour. I'm sure he'll be hopping on, and if it's later, I'll do this again. But 7:20, I will start going through some of the things that the Kind Assassin and I purchased this week. So, we went to Universal because we wanted to go to Super Mario. No, what is it called? Super Nintendo World. The new Super Nintendo World that opened at Universal Studios Hollywood. We went there. The land is beautiful, super well designed. It looks amazing. You feel like you are in Super Mario video game. So dope. We actually got there just as Mario and Luigi were walking in, so that was cool. There's one ride. It's the Mario Kart ride. So when it comes to the land, the look, the feel, the atmosphere, do you feel like you're in that world? 100% yes, you do. When it comes to the ride, I don't know if any of you have played Mario Kart. I'm sure you know what Mario Kart is. It was, for me, I wasn't very impressed with it because I never felt like I was racing. And like, you sit in the car and you get to shoot like shells, but you have to put on a hat and these goggles, and it's like virtual reality. So you could see like the cartoon characters racing, but only in your visor. So if you move your eye, you don't see anything. I think it's really cool for kids, but for like, most of these theme parks are for kids that adults will enjoy. I am glad that I visited the park, and I'm glad that I did try it. I have no desire to go on it again. I don't. It's just odd. Just like I said, you never feel like you're racing. Shira says, "Boomhauer hour sounds like what he promised." Kira says, "If you give me magic mushrooms, I'll feel like I'm in a video game." Hell yeah. Okay, so where are we? True, true. Children are easily entertained with these rides, simple minds and all. Yeah, it's fine for them. But I didn't buy. Oh, I did buy something from Super Nintendo World, and both of you are watching my live stream, so both of you can probably tell one of the items that I bought. So I'll give you all 10 seconds to find it because it's on screen, very prominent. So I'll give you some time. Let's see if Kira and Shira have any guesses. The Magic Star. Yes, I purchased this popcorn bucket. So it's cool. It lights up like that. And then if you press the button again, it blinks. So that's cool. I think is it called the Magic Star? I don't even know what it's called. I'm a fake fan. But Shira says, I was going to say the Northern Star. Yeah, it's this little guy right here. That was all I purchased at Mario at Super Nintendo World. I always forget. I always want to call it Land because it's small, but it is Super Nintendo World. But I did buy a drink there. Disgusting, but I tried it. And then we went to Simpsons Land, and this is what we got there. So I will show you. I'll do this one second. I'll do this one third. So the first thing I want to show you, because I'm hungry, is, and I don't know if either of you watch The Simpsons. I'm sure you've caught it, but there is Lard Lad's Donuts, and they sell that at the park. So it is a humongous, gigantic donut. And I got the, the Simpsons pink. This is about 1/4 of the donut because we've taken some bites. That's like 1/4 of it. So I'll put the donut away. Kira says, in the game, they should promise you some time with Princess Peach if you're sitting on a ride. Oh, nothing wrong with a right Peach, says Kira. Oh my God. All right. I can't even text. All right. The second, I just spit my donut out. The second item I will show you is the hat that the kind assassin purchased. It is this hat. It has donuts on it. And it says The Simpsons somewhere there. So this was hers. This is pretty neat. Cool hat. Put that away. And then the last thing we bought, I purchased the hat as well. I got the Duff Beer hat. Shira says, eat the entire thing in one sitting. I probably could because the frosting is so good. Shira says, no, true either. I'm surprised, but I mean, I feel like you all like dedicate your Tuesdays. So if you like on Tuesday at 7 o'clock, I'm going to be here, then it's probably kind of hard to be like, I could also just be there on Wednesday. So that's that. Okay, so when it comes to Disneyland yesterday, Kira says, oh wow, I've never seen The Simpsons, so didn't get the reference. Oh, Duff is just the beer of that world. So if you go to the bar, they serve Duff. Yeah, for Star Wars night, we only purchased 2 little things, but I'll show you first. They give you this cool map, which is neat, and then it'll tell you everything that's going on. Like if I open it all the way, it'll be like really difficult, but I'll try. So there, it just kind of shows you what's going on. And then it'll have like the food and the drinks. You could pick out what you want to get over here, things like that. So that's the map they give you. And then also when you get in, they give you a lanyard, which is neat. And there's really nothing on the back. This doesn't have like a number or anything. It's just something cool to have. And the odd thing is the lanyard is supposed to be like, oh, I paid for Star Wars night. I wear this. But you also get a wristband. And kind of like every time you get to a land, they ask you to show it. Okay. And these are the last 2 things. So I believe you both know a lot about Star Wars. So we got these. I'll hold it here because the difference is I think you could tell the difference in whose saber is what. And then, let's see. Bam. So I know it's really bright and it's hard to see, but Anakin's saber and Luke's. They're supposed to go in drinks, but they're mini ones. So it's kind of cool. Neat. So we got those. Because the life-size sabers are really cool, but I like buy enough stuff. Kira says, if you take off the lanyard, do they send you to detention cell? If you show up and they're like, can I see your wristband or something, and you don't have it, they will immediately kick you out. Kira says the sabers are cute. Oh, I want to show you guys something too. So I know we talk about Harry Potter a lot and JK and all that horrible stuff. So I have something. I literally have one Harry Potter like merchandise item that I purchased before all, she turned into what she's turned into, which is why I don't show it. I don't display it. It's cool, and I have it here. Oh, Shira says, bummed to find out Daniel Radcliffe's a smoker. So I want to show you. So when we would go to like the whatever they call it, the Wizarding World of Harry Potter, and you go to the Ollivanders that sells the wands, they literally sell every wand, but they didn't sell every wand. But when we went to Ireland, the kind assassin found something and purchased it for me, and I want to show you guys. So just message like if you have seen the Harry Potter movies. Give me 1 second. Almost there. Give me a second. All right. Oh my God. I'm back. What did I miss? Kira says, you went to Ireland? Yeah, we went to Ireland 2 years ago, Dublin. And then I remember we drove across country. Kira says, yep, I've seen him read the books. Shira says, I've read the books, but follow Daniel from his other okay. So this is the one that I always wanted to get. I think it's really cool. So this, they never sold like legitimately in the park. But when we went on Sunday, we stopped by and I think they have it now, but this was like the only merch that I ever wanted. And we found it. So I'm trying to open it. Ah, ah. Sorry, there's a lot of stuff. Ah, okay. It's like a real, I mean, you wouldn't use it in the rain, but boom. Boom Howard says, hiya gang, out glam. Oh, that's right. You said last week you're going to be glamping. Tell the wife we said hello. Have fun. I was just going through an old relic I had pre J.K. Rowling turning into an asshole. But it is basically a real umbrella. I know you shouldn't open umbrellas indoors, but it's Hagrid's. I don't want to break it. But it does fully open. and it's Hagrid's wand, which I really like, but now it kind of sucks. But like I said, I had purchased it way before, and like I'm not gonna throw it out. I just don't display it. But I think it's neat. Sheer says, Boom is painting the town red. The town. Kira says, very nice umbrella. It's cool. I always liked Hagrid and Robbie Coltrane. Throw that over there. So it's a cool thing. Unfortunately, I will never display it because that would be support. Pre-buying it and not giving it away, I feel like is fine, but like having it on air in the background on camera is like saying, "Oh, look at this thing that I really, really still like." But Sheer says it is an awesome umbrella. Do you get a lot of rain there? Not in California, but I'm sure they do in Ireland. And there were some cool things because they did shoot a lot of the movies, I think, in Ireland and Scotland. So you could we didn't go on the tour, but I believe they have a Harry Potter tour where they take you to all the locations they used to shoot, or I guess that they used as inspiration. But we didn't do that. Sheer says, I love that even the actors from Harry Potter are judging the creator. Yeah, they're all like, they know better. Like, they're smart. I don't even want, they're not even kids anymore, but they're kids to me because we're old, or I'm old. But it's funny whenever they say something in support and then someone comes out and is like, you need to thank her because without her, you'd have no life and no money. And people, like, they're 25 years old now. Like, she didn't say, "Oh, Daniel Radcliffe, I want you, established Daniel Radcliffe, to be in my movie." Like, the dude was 10 years old and he just happened to be a good actor in a movie. Like, she probably didn't even cast him. Shira says it's insane that people have to defend their case against her. I don't understand what her agenda is, to be honest. Like, I understand in America that rich people follow certain people because they want to stay rich, like politicians, where you could be voted out, right? But as long as you're in office, you could get illegal donations and become a millionaire. All you got to do is kiss someone's ass, right? Like, I understand why people shit on their morals like that. But when it comes to like her having had created $1 billion franchise in books and movies, then you're like, oh, would she be doing this for money? Like, no, she doesn't need any money. So it's odd to me. She has to have an agenda, and it just happened all of a sudden, like 2 or 3 years ago. This all happened, and she's like, she can't let it go. It's so weird. Kira says exactly. These politicians have to realize that we are the reason they have a job. Yeah, and we have to be the reason that certain ones don't have one, hopefully sometime soon. But yeah, it just boggles my mind because usually when something happens with somebody, you could tell. Like if you take, I don't even know, I'm just pulling a name out of my ass. Like, say Rob Schneider. I don't know. I really don't know anything about him because I don't care about him. I don't follow him anywhere. But if he, the only thing I do know is that he is a Trumper. But I'm just saying, like, he would do something like that because, yeah, he's got money from whatever movies Adam Sandler puts him in. Because without Adam Sandler, he would never be in a movie. So it's like, I want to grift in some, so I could make money. Because it's basically like, if you support this and then you do a comedy special, those people will go see it. So it's kind of obviously like a grift. Whereas if you're on the good side and you're not funny, even though people agree with your politics, if you're shit, they're not going to go see you, right? So, Kira says, JK needs to understand that the fans are what made the movies as big as they were. Yeah, you're right. Shira says, Kevin Sorbo, too, is someone who's sour. Dude, he is a weird one. And I know people sometimes don't use like very not people sometimes don't use like a profile picture that's from today. Kevin Sorbo uses a profile picture from like 40 years ago. It's it's so odd, but I love how everyone calls him out for not being as good as Xena. Kira says, "Yeah, he's the worst too." But I don't follow him obviously. The one thing I need to do since I have these like social media accounts, my personal one and then this one, for like my Screen Sanctum ones, I really need to do filters. When I'm on my personal Twitter and stuff, if I see political stuff, that's fine. Like that's my personal account. Like I want to see what's going on. But for Screen Sanctum, I don't need to see someone retweeting Kevin Sorbo or something. So I really got to go into my Screen Sanctum socials and like block all politics. Shira says, yep, he's lost in yesteryears. I don't even know. I don't think I would have known he was in, what was it, Hercules? Was that the one, Xena and Hercules? I wouldn't have known he played that character if it wasn't for people that were clowning him. Like, I had no idea. And I don't know off the top of my head anything else that he's in. It's so crazy. But yeah, it's like people like that that need to stay relevant and milk idiots for their money. Pains me that Mario Lopez is someone too who's a whack-a-mole. I don't listen to him enough. I don't know. I never actually heard him say anything, to be honest. But like, again, it's all money. Like even Snoop Dogg performed in the White or at Mar-a-Lago or something. Like people just do it. Sorbo is also known not for the right reasons from that G God's Not Dead film. Let me pull up this guy's IMDb. I'm actually doing incognito window because I don't want this in my browser history. Yeah, I think he actually uses the picture from like Hercules. So he was in. Okay. God's Not Dead. That's the one that you just said. He did Hercules spin off animated. Meet the Spartans. That's like a parody. Okay. Left Behind. Never heard of that. That was 2 years ago. Let There Be Light. He did a lot of Hercules. Hercules in the Underworld. He did a shitload of. That's all he's really done is Hercules. Was he that? Was he like an Arnold Schwarzenegger type dude to play Hercules this many times? Oh my god. God's Not Dead 2. Bernie the Dolphin. Yeah. Not a lot. Pool Boy. Oh my god. That's so funny. I just somehow ended up on Danny Trejo's page. I can't believe he's 80. Kira says he starred in one episode of The Middleman as a predecessor to the main character. I don't know nothing. I know Danny Trejo. I don't think he turns anything down because he's been in some movies by like sketchy people, but he just does it. Like He does anything. Literally, you ask him to be in a movie and he'll be in it. You know what I need to do as a first time watching maybe in Discord, and you're probably all gonna make fun of me for this one. I've never seen From Dusk Till Dawn. Sheer says, when it's said that it's more difficult for older actors to make it in Hollywood, I mentioned Patrick Stewart, who's still a gentleman and amazing actor. He is. He is. So yeah, I've never seen From Dusk Till Dawn. Also, I learned that Desperado is part of a trilogy. That I didn't know. The Desperado film series is El Mariachi, Desperado, and Once Upon a Time in Mexico. I didn't know that. Shearer says From Dusk Till Dawn is amazing. Everyone says that. Like no one has told me that it's not good. But yeah, I never knew that there was a trilogy, the Mariachi trilogy. El Mariachi was 92, Desperado was 95, Once Upon a Time was in 2003. Films. All right. This is what I wanted to see. All of them directed by Robert Rodriguez, screenplay by Robert Rodriguez. That's cool. Kira says, I have to see that Dusk Till Dawn movie. Salma Hayek is in it. She is. And Salma Hayek is in Dogma, so you get her next week. Let's see the cast. All right, the characters that were in all the movies. In the movie El Mariachi, Desperado, and Once Upon a Time in Mexico, the main character is El Mariachi. In El Mariachi, he's played by Carlos Gallardo. But in Desperado and Once Upon a Time in Mexico, it's Antonio Banderas. So that character is in all three. Carolina, played by Salma Hayek, is in Desperado and Once Upon a Time in Mexico. There's a character called Buscemi, played by Steve Buscemi in Desperado. And then there's three characters that are only in Once Upon a Time in Mexico. I gotta check those out too. Sheer says, did your dad spoil Salma being in Dogma 2? No, I saw her on the poster, I think. So I don't know what she does or who she plays. I just saw that she's in it. Alan Rickman is in it. I was like, how did he get Alan Rickman to be in Dogma? So I'm looking forward to it. The cast is crazy. The cast is bonkers. Oh man, I took all this stuff out. I gotta put it all away. Which saber would you choose? I want it to be. Let me turn the lights off for a second. I want to get a good look. I want them to shine. There we go. Dun, 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 dun. That's pretty cool. Boom. Shira picks blue. No, Kira picked blue. Shira said, I'd say red. I should have been a Sith. We have more fun. And we're black. So that was pretty neat. Put that away. I hope I don't break them. Oh my God. Think I'm going to get a real good night's sleep tonight. Hopefully I'm like 100% recharged by tomorrow. That would be nice. What was I going to say? I think that's it. I'm just going through stuff that I've watched recently. See if there's anything new. Oh, I finally got to Brooklyn Nine-Nine season 5. I'm going through that fast. I think when that's done, I might do Always Sunny in Philadelphia, and that's like 16 seasons. That's freaking crazy. Kira says, it feels so quiet without the boys and True. It does feel quiet without the troublemakers. And True, yeah. Again, when people don't hop on, I always think the worst. So just hope everyone's good and just a little bit busy. But I feel like everyone will show up for Dogma, whether it's in um, what you call it, Discord to watch it, or just here to chat through it. Shira says that's 16 more seasons. That's 16 more seasons that it's always sunny in Philadelphia needed. Ooh, you are one of the first people I've ever heard of who doesn't like that show. Honestly, I've really never come across anyone. Everyone tells me I have to watch it. Shira says surprise it ran for so long. Oh, this is spicy. Put my hat on. Put my duff hat. I actually really like the shape of this hat too. I can very it's not very often I find a hat that I like that fits on me, but I like this one. Sheer says its first couple of seasons are gold, no doubt, but it runs into absurdness. Is it true that it was not good until Danny DeVito got there, or is that just a rumor? Ah, Kira says that looks like a truck driver hat now that I think of it. It is, I guess, on um, film it does. It's just a plain red. I think it's red. It looks orange, but it's not like a, mesh back. And I like that the back is Velcro. So you have infinite amounts of sizes. Sheer says Danny DeVito is incredible in the show, but the characters all have their strengths. I only watched one episode, and I think I told this story on Discord. Someone, I think Jay actually, who's usually on the lives, Jay pays for me to watch one new episode every month, and this was like maybe 2 years ago. He wanted me to watch Always Sunny, so I was like, okay, which episode do you want me to watch? And Jay usually tells me to pick whichever one I want, or for like Last Man on Earth, I go from the pilot, so I basically finished season one. But that one he told me I could watch whatever episode I wanted. And the only episode I knew of because of the meme was Danny DeVito's like, all right, so I started blasting. So I watched that episode. That episode was really good. If that show is indicative of the series, then I'll probably love it because the writing on that show was really good. Not only was it funny, but that particular episode was cool because I think there's 6 characters or 4. I don't remember. Yeah, there's 2 guys. No, there's 3 guys and 1 woman. So there's 4 characters. And then in the beginning of that episode, 2 of them want all their guns, and 2 of them are like, we don't need guns. But by the end of the episode, they switch because of what happens to them. That was cool. Shira says, oh, wait, what did I miss? Kira says, Duff just reminds me of when people say, get off your duff. Never heard that before. Shira says, the first episode of Sunny, it's just so good. They captured lightning in a bottle right away, but all good things wane with time. Well, I think I'm going to watch it because what I'm trying to do for the channel, and it was a little bit harder before because I started with a bang with 3 good old shows with Community, Atlanta, and what was I doing first? What were the 3? It was Community, Atlanta. Huh. I have a terrible memory. But then I did like Rick and Morty is older and Brooklyn Nine-Nine is older. So now, like I want something once Brooklyn Nine-Nine is done that's old, over, and I could just watch it every week, drop it on a Friday, because I still do like doing like I'm doing Broad City. It's just something I picked up, I liked it, I'm reacting to it. Basically, and Cowboy Bebop. That's only one season. Watch it, and then like when a new show drops, like The Last of Us, that's every Sunday I'm watching it, stuff like that. But I'm probably gonna like kind of chill on the shows that are an hour. Oh, it's a lot of work. Like that is something you do when you're getting paid to do this. You're making a lot of money doing it, and that's your job to watch it and edit it. But when you're not and you have limited time, it's painful to edit those shows. So The Last of Us is probably the last one. Like I'm not reacting to Andor. I might react to Ironheart, but yeah, it's tough. Kira says, how Simpsons and Family Guy have been around so long just blows my mind. And Keeping Up with the Kardashians. That's crazy how it was that, and then it ended, and now they have a new show on Hulu. Crazy. Shira said, that's the show that should have been canceled right after the pilot, like Lost. Damn, we got Lost slandered too. I've never watched it, but I don't know anyone who doesn't like it, especially the early episodes. I know there are some later ones that people like they'll pick out a certain few, but damn, you don't like Lost either? Oh man, I love my little star. So cool. I moved Oogie Boogie. Oh man, over here. He used to be somewhere over here. What else do I have? I thought I had something else that was new. I don't. I don't think so. I don't know. Oh boy. I am getting tired. I was thinking of canceling the stream for this week, but I didn't want to let anyone down, and I like chatting with everyone. Also, the kind assassin is extremely tired too, so she's relaxing. Hopefully, get her on the stream again at some point. But Sheer says Lost is one of those shows that people latched onto for some strange reason. Damn. I have no idea what was happening in the world at the time that made people jump off the series like they did. Kira says, feel so bad you must be exhausted. I am, and thank you so much. Sheer said, true, you need your rest. We all need our rest. In these trying times, we all definitely need our rest. But that's so crazy. Like this is you learn something new every day. Like I said, this is the first time I've heard of anyone not like Lost or Always Sunny. And again, Lost especially for the pilot episode. Shira says, we need True here and Topher. I hope he hops on next week because we haven't seen or heard from Chris in 4 weeks, I think. It's been a while. Never let him know I said that. There's always love in here. Like a crazy family, but all right. I think I am done. I'm gonna wash the like what do they say? Wash the cold out of your eyes, put on the pajamas and get ready for bed to wake up and do it again tomorrow. I think I might watch an episode of Cowboy Bebop tomorrow. Tomorrow's Thursday. And then Friday I'll do Brooklyn Nine-Nine and it'll be a good time. Kira says it's probably a witness protection matter with him. Oh my God. You're not kidding. That's funny. Kira says, get some rest and go to sleep. Say hello to the kind assassin first. I will. 100%. All right. Shira and Kira, thank you for hopping on. It was fun. Though, yes, we did miss our other regulars. So hopefully they're on next week for Dogma. I'm so excited to watch Dogma. And then if you guys can remember, because I want to write it down tonight. I might forget. I want to do, not From Dust Till, what was the one I wanted to watch? No, not Desperado. What was the movie that I wanted to watch? Was it From Dusk Till Dawn? Yeah, From Dusk Till Dawn. That's the one. So you got to remind me. All right. I will see you all next time. Have a good day, a good week, good weekend. I'll see you next week. And that is all. Later, guys.